Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Scott from HZ Education. If you're really trying to get a 9 CLB for the reading section on the CELPIP exam, then let's get started. I, a native English speaker, will take the test with you and we'll go over to the platform now. So you'll see today I'm on the HSAT Education platform, hsateducationclb.com. This is where I get all of my CELPIP exams so I can practice reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So today we're on the reading test. We're going to go ahead and get more test or get new test. And I'm working on test 13 today. Lucky 13. Now, the nice thing about this platform is that it uses AI to generate new test every time. So you have an unlimited amount. It's the only one on the market today, so that's why we're using it. Let's get started. Now, part number 1, you're going to read an email or a letter. This is how we start all of the reading sections. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is notice that we only have 10 minutes, so I am trying to work quickly. Time management is a huge component of the reading section. Now, I have a structure that I like to use on all reading exams. First, skim the text. Understand the main idea, the main message. Look for the tone. Is the writer excited, frustrated, angry? Are they apologizing? So what's the general tone? For every paragraph, try to summarize quickly what you think each paragraph is about. This will help you when you go for the questions because you can quickly look back and find out the answers. Then we're going to question number 1. We'll read the question, eliminate answers that seem completely wrong, and go back to the text. So throughout the entire reading section, you're hardly ever reading full passages. You're skimming and scanning the text. So dear Professor Lewis, okay, that is the person who is receiving the letter. I hope it finds you in good health. Intertwine the scientific inquiry about ethical complexities of biological manipulation. That seems to be the main topic. Synthetic biology, the advent of synthetic. In this dynamic arena of modern science, the synthetic biology, biological parts, entire organisms. Okay, creating new biological parts, biological manipulation. Paragraph 2, synthetic biology traced back to DNA hacking. Yes. Audacities of such enterprises. So he doesn't seem pleased. He seems scared or frustrated. Capabilities beyond the natural selection of evolution. Synthetic biology is breathtaking, promising advancements. Okay, so this is a positive word. Diverse medicine, agriculture, environmental sustainabilities. Looks like he's comparing the two things. So synthetic biology as well as, biological manipulation? The manipulation of biological systems in this manner necessitates an informed disclosure on the moral framework. So we're really looking about the moral framework about using DNA, synthetic DNA hacking. Biotechnical endeavors raise ethical dilemmas, yes. Biosecurity. Okay, this paragraph is a lot about like the policies, the securities around it. Accidental release of organisms, consequences, vigilance in creating robust frameworks. Yeah, policies, frameworks, necessary. However, more urgent, interdisciplinary ethics, good. Policymakers, there we go. Synthetic biology. All right. Next paragraph is about, on a personal note, he is profoundly fascinated by the possibilities. Okay, so actually he seems interested in it. He doesn't seem that angry. Engineering, computing, pushing boundaries of life. Philosophical question about the creation, manipulation of human role in biodiversity. Okay. Finally, it's a woman, Alexandra. Finally, in conclusion, synthetic and both the zenith of human innovation and ethical exploitation. Okay, this seems kind of positive. She's not angry. She's not mad. She's curious. It urges us to traverse uncharted territories with wisdom and foresight. Yes, kind of like look into the future. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on how we, as a scholarly community, so we, scholarly community, there's usually a question about the relationship. So I reckon that they are colleagues, university colleagues. They work together in research, labor opportunities. Good. The focus of Dr. Mendez's letter is to. What is the actual focus of her letter? It was largely about scientists. Okay, explore the implications of synthetic biology, argue for. Oh, we gotta go to the top. Discuss history of DNA. No, it wasn't the history. Propose a new scientific methodology. No, she never proposed a lot. She was asking about the curiosities of it. Explore the implications. Yes, because she did talk a lot about, like, we want to see how this invention in uncharted territories and what the foresight is. So all of that was asking about about the implications. Argue for reduced scientific regulations. Definitely not D, definitely not B, and not really A. So I am very confident on C. Synthetic biology's potential includes advancements in. Okay, synthetic biology, but where did she talk about the advancements? The scope of synthetic biology is breathtaking. Scope means like the vastness, the wideness, what it can do. Medicine, agriculture, environmental sustainabilities. Aha. Let's see. Viral gene suppression, no. Enhanced sound technology, never once did they talk about sound. Agricultural sustainability and medicine. Okay, definitely. Our answer is right there. Which of the following best describes the possible negative outcomes? Where did she talk about the possible negative outcomes? Let's look at the answers. Increase in scientific funding, that would not be an outcome. Imbalances and ethical misuse, she did talk about that. Enhanced natural diversity, enhanced, it doesn't seem like a negative. Unemployment, never talked about. So A and D, we can cross those out. They were not talked about. B and C, enhanced natural diversity wasn't a negative outcome. An ecological imbalance and ethical misuse. Imbalance, misuse, those are both very negative words. So just by looking at the question, I could guess very correctly that I think it's that one. How does Dr. Mendez view the ethical consideration of synthetic biology? How does she view it? Let's look. As a minor hindrance, no, there was many times where she said, this is profound. Profound means very large. As a fundamental part of the process, I don't think so. And as irrelevant to current practices, no. As separate from technological advances. Okay, so there's a few correct answers here. Definitely not A, definitely not C. I think it would be B, fundamental part of the process. Because she does talk about this synthetic biology and how it's a forefront, it's reshaping our understanding. Let me just double check. What is your thought? Do you think it's the fundamental process or a separate, as separate from technological advances? Let's go through. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to go with B. Now, although we don't have a lot of time, I'm going to restart this because we are looking closely, in depth, on how to answer these questions. But let's continue. The philosophical question raised by synthetic biology, according to Dr. Mendez, are. So here we have a key vocabulary word, philosophical. Is there a time where they mention philosophical in the text? Skim read. Use your skim reading abilities. Now, when I'm skim reading, I also go from the bottom up, and then I see philosophical. The reason we go from the bottom up is because if you start at the top, you start reading slowly. If you skim read, go from the bottom, so you're not reading, you're only looking for words. You're skimming and scanning. All right, philosophical question is, afterlife creation, manipulation, and the human role in biodiversity are tantalizing as the technical potentials it unlocks. Okay, so the creation of life, this unlocks new potential. Predominantly about technological dependencies, solely uh, directed towards economic benefit. No, she didn't mention that. Related to life creation, yes. Completely focused on machines, no. Already, I can take out answer B and D. Both those did not fit. It wasn't predominantly about technological logical dependencies. She said there were some technological potentials, but it's not primarily about that. Now, the convenient thing about using the HSAT education platform is that it still allows me to keep my answers, which we are going to do carefully together today. Now, stay tuned because in the second part of reading for the CELPIP exam, we have a diagram which we need to understand and assess, and it'll give us multiple different points. That is the hardest one. So let's finish up part A and then we'll work together. So next, in part A, we've answered our questions. Now we're going to fill in the paragraph. This part really requires you to understand the tone and you have to do inference for the questions. Furthermore, you can also use grammar as a hint. Always be sure to read past the blank first. In our recent discussion regarding the potential challenges of synthetic biology, Dr. Manda's intricate examination underscores both transformative capacity, blah, 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 blah. Interdisciplinary approach to the harness benefits while addressing the risk. Good. The burgeoning domain of synthetic biology, akin to the double-edged sword, so it's the same as the double-edged sword, something Dr. Manda articulated a vision. Oh, they're full sentences. Holds the key to parallel progress, complicates moral resolution, a little bit, demands greater regulatory. Okay, let's read forward. Her vision, where something is pivotal in navigating this realm. Okay, so her vision, what is number 7 about? Okay, that creates barriers, that does something towards this realm. So, domain of the synthetic biology akin to the double-edged sword. Akin to the double-edged sword means that it has a positive and a negative. So something that is similar to the positive and the negative, I think it's the fact that it holds unparalleled progress. Because it has progress, but also it has drawbacks. And let's see if it fits with the next part. Holds the key to the unparalleled progress. Dr. Mendez articulates a vision where something becomes pivotal, something becomes necessary in this. What is necessary in the development of synthetic genes? Where restrictive barriers become necessary, collaborative ethics, isolated scientific communities. No, not C. Purely theoretical, not D. So either A or B. Parallel, where restrictive barriers. No. Collaborative ethics seems more right, more correct, because she talked about communities coming together. Scientific, we are the stewardship of life. So that stewardship means that we carry on this process as a community. So I'm going with collaborative ethics. That was a hard one. Core of such ethical deliberations lies in the balancing innovation with biodiversity, a harmony that allows the scientific community to. Okay, balancing biosafety. This is a harmony that allows the community to do something. Let's check. It allows them to push the frontiers, kind of. Focus solely on, no, not about money. She did not talk about that. Maintain singular disciplinary. No, it was about multiple disciplinaries. Avoid, okay, B, C, and D were just no. We didn't hear that in the passage. So push the frontiers of knowledge. So like expand knowledge. Continue with me. What is number 9? For instance, engineer engineered microorganisms introduced for environmental cleanup could potentially do something. What could they do? They could potentially enhance ecological restoration, probably. Hinder? No. Simplify? Probably not. Obscure? No. Wait, let's check this. Engineer microorganisms in the environment for cleanup could potentially. Let's read on. The delineal of the responsibility thus becomes critical component of disclosure, ensuring the synthetic does not merely serve human aspiration, but can to the ecosystems. Okay, so number 9 should be something negative because she or he goes on to talk about how what they do in the environment must balance the ecosystem. It must maintain good ecosystems. So actually, we're going to go with hinder natural habitats. All right, our last one, number 10 for section 1. I look forward to our continued exploration of these themes, where something will guide the seamless integration of synthetic biology. Where what? What's going to guide the integration of synthetic biology? Where ethical, kind of, but they didn't talk so much about that being the one thing. Practical adaptation, theoretical discourse, unlimited creativity. I think adaptation is the closest fit. Good. Let's go to the next section. Okay, part number 2 is where a lot of students lose marks, so listen up. The reason people lose marks is because, 1, they don't look at the graph very critically. They just take a quick glance and then start answering the questions, and then they make inferences. Don't guess the answers. All of the answers are present in this graph, so we need to study it carefully. Take a look with me. This one is a bit strange. What are we looking at? Urban evolution features, new materials for tech, transport and mobility innovations. And just from looking at the text, he says, Alex, you won't believe what I delved into last night, a comprehensive overview of the history of evolution of urban architecture, particularly focusing on technology. All right, so he's just sharing his information. Let's take a look. We're going to understand it briefly and then more in-depthly as we go. So if we look at urban evolution features, biophilic design. Okay, so I know bio means related to plants and animals. Philic, we're going to have to guess because you might not know. Biophilic design. Eco-friendly structures, we know that. Green belts. Green belts are often like a space of green that goes around a city. So it creates this like healthy ecosystem. Placemaking initiatives, soundscaping technology. All right, all these like big terminologies, but they have root words that we understand. Eco, green, initiative, sound, technology. These are words that we can piece together. For the new materials, we're looking at self-healing materials. Okay, so like regenerating themselves. Smart glass, digital twin concepts, smart city, bioluminescent pathways. Again, we might not know all of these words. Bio means from nature. Luminescent means light. So just like the picture, bioluminescent pathways. These are the materials. And finally, we're looking at the transportation and mobility, so how people are going to get around in the future. Integrated transit hubs. Integrated means like come together. Hyperloop, autonomous drones, cybernetic mobility, automated road systems. So this is the transportation. Good. We've spent enough time to analyze it. The next thing you do is go into the questions, and already I can see there's just like so much text. I'm not even going to worry with that. I'm just going to go straight into the first question. So we'll start maybe around here. It's fascinating how they crafted a monumental structure that is still astonishing us today. It's ironic how these ancient materials are being reintroduced. Oh, we don't really care. Speaking of innovation, have you heard about the something trend? Just by looking at this sentence, we don't know at all. Have you heard about the what trend? We don't know. Read further. It seems like everyone is talking about integrating natural elements into urban areas to improve mental health. All right, so natural elements, now let's look. Biophilic design, high-rise vertical, self-healing materials. Now, self-healing materials just doesn't fit. High-rise vertical design, that was never in there. Cross it out. We didn't see it. Smart glass and self-healing materials, those were under materials. So we're looking for the urban environment. everyone's talking about integrating natural elements into urban areas. The only answer that was in urban elements is a biophilic design. That's the only one that came from here. Anyways, while pondering over this, I also came across some ingenious advancements like blah, blah, blah. The way cities are beginning to mirror digital capabilities is wild. Okay, I also came across advancements in which answer would fit here. Now, so far, we still don't really know, so we could read further. I imagine administrating cities' resource with real-time data is almost like living in a sci-fi movie. Data, digital twin concepts. That is the closest answer we have to data, because they take the data of a city and they copy it into a digital twin. All right, next one. With all these developments, having something in cities would just be revolutionary, don't you think? Moreover, we both know the challenge of urban sprawl and environmental impacts. This one is talking about the downside of urban sprawl. So maybe it's something to do with, they all are to do with noise, kind of. But the only word that came from our table was soundscaping technology. So it has to be soundscaping technology. Number 4, have you read about these strategies like something to aim to curb urban sprawl? Have you heard about something like to curb urban sprawl? Oh my God, a lot of vowels. Which one? So we have green belts. B, cross out. C, cross out. Those were not mentioned here. Again, we're not guessing. We're looking for answers in the table. Placemaking initiatives, that was mentioned. So we're going to go with, was urban? No, urban fill wasn't mentioned here. Okay, so we're going to go with green belts because that's the answer that was mentioned here. And speaking of diversity, the way transportation systems are evolving is worth mentioning, such as, so look in the transportation section, such as something certainly paving the way for the future, such as decentralized communities, cybernetic mass mobility, automated road, integrated transit hubs, paving the way for the future. Ooh, which one would really be paving the way for future? Not decentralized. Integrated transit hub, yes, perhaps. Cybernetic mass mobility, it's not part of transportation. Like transit hubs is the closest. Automated roads, probably not. Did they even mention automated roads? Oh, they did. Yeah, I'm going to go with transit hubs because this one's talking about the transportation of people. It's worth mentioning and it's for the future. So I think it's that one. All right, so we still have a minute left and we have 3 more questions. I don't know if we could do it in 3 minutes. Which ancient civilization architect predominantly uses concrete? Which one did they mention? Let's go back up. I saw something about ancient. Roman? It's Roman. Okay. Did you know that Roman architects? Good. So we're looking for answers that came in the text above. What current urban design focused is suggesting improving mental health and environment? Mental health and environment, we saw that word mental health. Improve mental health and air quality. So the biophilic design. Now, if you got that question wrong, you would get the second one wrong as well. So it's very important. What technology mentioned might help manage noise in progressive urban areas? Technology for noise, there is something about soundscaping technology. Let's hope that is one of our answers. It's not. Silent transit, acoustic urban, bioluminescence elimination, no. Integrated sound audiology. My time is up. I'm going with acoustic urban design. Because I think they mentioned something about acoustic. I heard that word somewhere. All right, we are done section number 2. Let's hit continue. Now, today I've only taken you through part 1 and part 2 because they are challenging and they have the shortest amount of time. Let's take a look. Part number one. Part number one, I did very well. I got all the answers correct. Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay, part number two. I got 2 of them incorrect. Self-healing materials. Oh, that was the first one. That means I got the last one? No, oh no, I got that one correct. Urban infills. I don't remember hearing about urban infills. All right. Now, on the HSAT education platform, it gives me my score. So I got approximately 17 right, but that's because I didn't complete the entire test. I think I would have gotten a very high CLB, a 9, because there was only 2 incorrect answers. Now, go onto the platform and you can take the entire test. It takes about 1 hour, 45 minutes to an hour to complete the entire test. When you are finished, you'll get your approximate CLB score. The tips that we provided today are ways that you can increase your score to get a CLB 9 and to get that express entry visa, because that's probably what you want. It's really important that you practice skimming and scanning the text. That is my biggest suggestion to do. Don't ever read the text in full. Skim it, go to the question, read the question, go back to the text, cancel answers that are incorrect, look for the answer, and then verify. Don't read the whole text because that wastes time and we don't have time. Now, if you're on the AI platform here, you're going to get some feedback about your strengths and your weaknesses or your areas for improvement. On the next page, you're going to see your 2-week study plan. And this is really what we're here for. The 2-week study plan takes you through 2 weeks and it gives you very specific feedback on how you could improve your marks for reading in specific. So it's going to tell you to go and read for 30 minutes like National Geographic or The Economist. And then it's going to tell you on the next week to build a list of 10 new vocabulary words, etc., etc. Dedicate 30 minutes to solving reading comprehension exercises from CELPIP. Once you go through these 2 weeks, you are going to have a much stronger capability to do the reading part for CELPIP exam. So I really highly recommend that you follow it. Now, if you're getting ready to take the CELPIP exam, please go ahead in the comments, tell us when are you taking it and which part of the test gives you the most nerves. Which part is the most challenging? So we can help you by making more videos. In return, if you don't mind giving us a like and a subscribe to the channel, that helps us produce more content every week. Thanks guys for following along today. I'm Scott from HSAD and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.